We're wrapping up week 3 of the high school baseball and softball season here across the state of Iowa, and it's gone off without a hitch for the most part. About 15 teams have had to suspend or cancel their season because of a positive COVID-19 case, and there will be a few more that come along in the coming weeks. Still, overall, it's been pretty good, but it still leaves questions as to what kind of state tournament will we have.
We're seeing, maybe some mixed messages or mixed success depending on with what's happened, but we're learning from that. Our schools are learning from that.
We just saw Manson Northwest Webster baseball forced to cancel the remainder of their season and playoffs because of a positive test.
If someone is out or is forced to forfeit due to coronavirus or COVID exposure, their team is out, and it's a bye for the team that they were supposed to play.
At this point, if a team does have to go into quarantine, their season's done because that will stretch into the playoffs. It's just part of the reality for all of high school baseball and softball.
That's really difficult. That's a crappy situation for them and their kids and the people that have worked hard to make this work all season. Obviously we want a representative event, and this isn't supposed to be, see who doesn't get it. We want as many healthy and safe teams as possible.
I also talked to the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union Executive Director Jean Berger, who echoed this when I talked to her about softball. They will have their guidelines in place in Fort Dodge and will move to 4 fields being used for games instead of 2 to allow for the same type of attendance while sticking to social distancing guidelines. As for baseball, Principal Park will once again host, but don't expect to be at the ballpark all day as a spectator with some new guidelines due to COVID-19.
It might make the state tournament experience look pretty different than what people are used to. At this time, we think that means individual game tickets. We think that means clearing the stadium out after every single game and maybe not watching an entire class play a full day of baseball because those seats are limited.
Things could still change, but that's part of the time we're currently in.
During this experience and through this year, 3 weeks, a lot could change, and so we really are having to take it day by day.
As for team travel, both athletic governing bodies have laid out their guidelines for schools and teams, but it is ultimately up to the school whether or not those teams will stay overnight for state baseball in Des Moines or state softball in Fort Dodge. Now, Jean Berger did tell me also that those teams that stay overnight in Fort Dodge stay at Iowa Central Community College in the dorms, so they do have a little bit of a controlled environment in that spot.